Here in my really messy studio. Um, you have to remember that this is a working studio, so we have a lot going on right now. It is 11 o'clock Monday, the 19th, September 19th. So I want to welcome you to my little show, and I'm going to dive right in and just share with you a little bit about what's been going on. We are supposed to have a guest on today, and I sent her the link, but I think she might have gotten the time zone wrong. So she might pop in here and she might not, but either way, that's okay. That's just one of the things about doing a live video. The show must go on, right? So I want to share with you just some personal information. My cute grandma, you've actually heard her. If you watch this program, you've heard that she on occasion has called me while I have been doing my show. Well, my grandma, was 94. She just passed away this past week, and I'm 50 years old. So my grandma lived for a lovely long life, and she and I were very close. So this has been a little bit of a challenge to lose my grandma, but I'm really excited about an upcoming project that I have. I see Dara just hopped on. Let me bring her. Actually, Dara, can you see me? And can you hear me? Okay, I'm going to leave you muted for just a half a second, and then I'll bring you live. Okay. Anyway, so that's been going on in my life. I lost my sweet grandma, and we were very close. This is her bracelet, so I get to keep that. But she was Danish. She's a first generation American. Both of her parents immigrated to America from Denmark. And so I have an upcoming project that I'm working on that I'm going to share. I'm just going to give you a quick glimpse. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I will just show you some of what is happening in the studio and part of the mess that you see behind me. So these are some as you know, Denmark is a Scandinavian country. And so I've got these special little girls that are reminiscent of St. Lucie or St. Lucia. They're clearly, you can see this is going to be a Christmas project. There's another one out of view, but just a little something about what's happening. And I'm going to, remember my grandma with this project. So if you want to follow along more closely with that project, I always am posting behind the scenes photos or things that are happening behind the scenes or works in progress on my Instagram, which is collage.quilter. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, collage.quilter is where to see projects that are in process. Okay, so thank you all for joining me. Thank you so much for the kind comments. I know many of you have already reached out, and I really appreciate the well wishes and the thoughts at this time while we mourn the loss of my grandma. So I want to, without further ado, bring on Dara. I'm going to bring her live here. Okay, Dara, can you hear us?
Yes, totally.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, great. Okay, now, first of all, I need to make sure that I'm pronouncing your name right. I remember asking, we've only met one time before at the Salt Lake International Quilt Show, and I was so excited to meet her. So remind me how to pronounce your name so I don't mess it up.
You got it right. It's Dara.
Okay, Dara. All right. So Dara is a quilter. You're a long arm quilter, right?
I am.
Okay, long arm quilter, and she's written a couple books that I want to share with you today. And then I want to also talk about this program that she's doing about weight loss, right? So
mental and
first
physical
of all,
weight loss.
Great. Okay. So when we met a few months ago, when was that? It was in July, I think.
We briefly met like 7 years ago. It was like the Riley Blake out in yeah, and then there. Yeah.
Okay, Dara, I'm having a little bit of an issue with buffering your.
Yeah, I moved.
Okay, so I'm going to, while she's kind of working on her connection and making sure that it's up to speed, I'm going to introduce her books that I was really impressed with as I spoke to her at the International Quilt Show. And what she was explaining is we actually have known each other for many years. We met many years ago while I was a designer for Riley Blake Designs. And I believe that she was doing, Dara, I think you were doing samples for Riley Blake Designs. Is that right?
Yeah. So I've done a series of them. When they had a videos, and so I was one of their get down to the to do those.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, my internet. I don't know why I'm to my. It should be okay now.
Okay. I am going to I'm going to kind of carry things along. So if you're buffering, then, but what I want to do then is I want to introduce these really awesome books that she has written because I was super excited about this. And also I get a lot of questions about how do I quilt my projects. And so, I have taken down my long arm machine and put it away. I've kept it, but I've taken it down because I realized the long arm quilting is it's just not my thing. I kind of really like doing the free motion quilting on my Bernina, but regardless, either way, I felt like these books are amazing. So, Walk, Jog, Run is kind of a beginner guide that kind of walks you through everything about free motion quilting, how to get started. And I love this book because it talks about the presser feet and bobbins and feed dogs and just the real basics, like the nitty gritty basic questions that everybody has if they want to get started with free motion quilting. And then it walks you through. So the walking is the beginning part, and then jogging is you're getting a little more confidence, and the run away, go crazy wild is you have arrived. So I love it that it's kind of in this training program, and she talks about getting warmed up with 4 chapters to teach you the basics, and then you get to exercise your free motion skills, and then you get to sprint to the finish line. So I really love this book, and I bought a few of them from you to make for sale. They're on collagequilter.com. So they have some fun, simple projects too.
So
like I wanted to, go ahead, Dara.
Yeah, so I've got basic design. So you have your foundation foot, and then we go to you learn cursive, and so then we go to loops, and then we take you from where then I help increase. So I don't even 8. I think that's one of the big quilting. They go to stippling, but there's a lot before going to stippling.
Okay.
I've taught this to so many women. Process works so well, and then if I should have brought the books. I was just I had a booth, and it was so much fun. I teach you the basic, and then I give you 5 design. So loops.
Dara, I'm having a really hard time hearing you consistently. Let me ask the viewers what if they're it could be my connection. Folks, if you're joining us and you're watching this live, will you please let us know how this connection is? Because Dara, you're cutting out so much that I can't follow what you're saying.
Really?
But I think I'm picking up that you're saying there's so much more to quilting than free motion, or excuse me, than just stippling. Is that correct? Yeah, it says the sound is bad. She's kind of breaking up. You're cutting off a lot. So,
okay.
dang it, Dara, I'm so sorry. You know what? We've had this problem before with bad connections with guests. And so
Here, a second.
you keep working on your end, and I'm going to talk about the next book too. So this book is an awesome basic beginner kind of walking through. And then here's another, she's a prolific author, clearly. So she's got another book, two other books that I'm going to talk about. And again, all of these three books are on collagequilter.com because I just thought they were so useful for me to look at and kind of, I thought I'd share them with my audience. So the next book that we're going to talk about is this Doodle School. Now, and I think this kind of talks about what she was saying. So, and I've explained to my audience, to you folks, that when I quilt something, the way I quilt things is I do what's called doodle stitching in my mind. So let's use this project as an example. So my doodle stitching is I'm following kind of the design of the pattern, and then in the negative space, I'm doing a different kind of stitching. Okay. So I was super excited when I saw that she talks about doing that in the negative space or in different areas of the project. And you can see some of the stitching that I did down here was spider web, and I did the spider web in the corners, and I was really excited to see that she's got this little notebook that challenges you to do different types of stitching. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is fantastic. Okay, so these two books, Doodle School talks about this doodle stitching concept, or so that you're learning about different ways to produce doodle stitching. Okay. And this is a really, really cool book. It talks about, for example, taking a motif and how to think about quilting it, you know, doodling it with needle and thread, your needle and thread bubbles. I mean, it just goes through everything. And then we've got this book, and then this is a companion guide kind of, and I would liken this to like a little diary, a free motion doodling diary. Would that be a fair assessment, Dara? Okay,
Yeah.
so let me open this up and just kind of show about this book, because I'm really excited about this. I think this is awesome. So for example, she will give us a prompt. Okay, think about the movement of water, is what she says. How does water flow? Take a look at water images. And she's got some prompts here for you. And then she's got, in this little diary, you can sketch yourself and just kind of practice. And here's another page. So I love this, that this is a book that's designed for us to actually get a paper, you know, or get a pencil and draw in the book. So I think this is super, super helpful for people to gain the confidence that they need to translate, you know, to draw and then use that to translate into their quilting. So I just think this is a fantastic workbook, and I can't wait to play with this a little bit more. So those are the three books that I really wanted to point out to you, that Dara is this professional quilter, and I loved these books when I found them. So beginning, you know, starting from the beginning, learning how to free motion, and then we've got kind of workbooks. This one, I think these are good companion workbooks. This one will kind of teach you those things, and then this one really is like a diary that you can draw in. So
all right, is that connection
Oh, Dara, I'm so sorry. It sounds, it's just really broken up. And I'm getting feedback from what the audience is saying. Oh, I wanted to say hi to some of the people in Great Britain who are, oh, they're Queen Elizabeth. Yeah. So, side note, I'm just looking at some of the comments. When the Queen died last week, we were sitting with my grandma and we told my grandma that the Queen had died, and my grandma was going through the dying process, and we were like, Grandma, go now. Now's your time to meet the Queen. So anyway, I really hope that my grandma connects with the Queen in heaven and says hello. Okay, so back to quilting. Let's see here. Dara, let's try one more time, okay? And if it doesn't work, then we're just gonna have to, I'm just gonna have to make do. So tell us if you can. Let's see if we can hear more of what you're gonna say. So in addition to these books and being a quilter, Dara is also, she has a fabulous program for quilters to help them kind of lose weight, right? Like, this was fascinating to me, and I'm gonna pull up your website right now. And let's see, it's Dara Thomason.
Thomason.
Will you look that up? I'm gonna have Amelia pull that up and put it in the chat because Dara's got a really interesting program. So Dara, go ahead and let's see if we can. Okay, it's daratomason.com. And Amelia's going to put the link, the actual link in. There we go. It just showed up in the comments. So if you are a quilter that has maybe thought, oh, I've got to get my butt in gear because all I do is sit and quilt and create, Dara has a program that's specifically designed for quilters, right? To help them lose weight. Okay, take it away. Let's see if we can hear you.
All right. Oh, hopefully. Can you hear me now?
It's sketchy, but let's try it.
Sketchy. Okay. Let me try one more. Two.
Does she have headphones she could put in? Yeah, Dara, see if you have some headphones, and let's maybe some headphones would help.
And me message my here. I can. Okay, I know.
Okay, folks, sorry about that. I'm so sorry that she is breaking up. And it's just too hard to watch while she's breaking up, but dang it. So back to her weight loss program. I was really excited to hear about this because I'm someone who I'm pretty passionate about staying fit. And because I sit all day long in my studio, I always try to do a workout, usually in the mornings. For me, that's what works the best. And I love to go to Pilates. Like, I just did my Pilates class this morning. And as I've gotten older, Pilates works really well for me because I had hip replacement last year and my joints just can't take a lot of, what's the word, Amelia? I have to be careful. I can't run anymore. I used to be able to run. I can't run anymore. And so Pilates works good for me to keep my strength up and my flexibility. And I've noticed that, man alive, I feel so much better than I have felt. Like today, 50 years old, post hip replacement, I feel so much better today than I did 5 years ago. It's crazy. So I'm a big, huge believer in taking care of our bodies so that we can have the capacity to create and to serve other people. Okay, Dara, let's see if that helps us a little bit. We're going to try one more.
Going to work? Does that work better?
A little bit. Yeah, let's try it. Tell us about your program.
Okay. So my program, it's Love Yourself Thin.
Love yourself. Oh, it's still not working. I am so sorry. Dang it. Okay.
I can leave messages for you in the chat.
Okay, that would be perfect, Dara. Why don't you do that? So I am going to tell you a little bit more about her program. It's called the 12-Step Perfection Recovery Program. Is that what it is?
That's part of it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Love Yourself Thin. That's the name of the program. Yeah. Okay. So on Dara Tomasson, the Love Yourself Thin program, and it's designed specifically for quilters. I'm a big believer in that kind of taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves enough to take care of our bodies so that we can accomplish what we want to as creators. Ultimately, creators do have a lot of sedentary time, and we need to make sure that we incorporate movement and flexing or stretching, flexibility, improving our flexibility so that we can do what we need to. So she says she has a lifetime membership for Love Yourself Thin, and she also has a live retreat at Lisa, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Bongian's Retreat Center. Okay, it's all about weight loss maintenance. So I invite you, if you are interested in having some help from somebody that understands the challenges that are facing quilters in weight loss, Dara is the person to go to. She also has a podcast called Weight Loss for Quilters, but the name has just been changed to Love Yourself Thin. She also has 20-minute consults that are so that you can schedule a time to talk to her. So she's just got all of these resources that we can find at her website, right? So we can check out her YouTube channel under her name, Dara Tomasson. And I'm going to make sure that we include all of this information in the chat. Amelia, can you see the private chat that we have going on with her? No. Okay. I'm gonna copy and paste this and put it in the chat. So now I want to get to some questions. Okay, so we always get questions in our comment section. So now's the time, folks. If you have questions about anything that we've talked about with free motion quilting, so these resources that Dara has created are available on the collagequilter.com website. So we've got the Doodle School and what I'm going to call the Doodle Diary. Sorry, I don't want to rename it, but it's the Doodle Notebook. And then the Walk, Jog, Run book. Those are available at collagequilter.com. Those will help you if you're just getting started with free motion quilting and kind of want to learn about it. And then if you have any questions about those books, go ahead and put them in the comments.
She mute her mic while she's typing.
Hey, Dara, will you mute your microphone? We're getting a lot of like just the typing sound. So we can't hear your voice, but we're getting all the typing sound.
I'll just do it.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry that this is so difficult. Let's see. And then if you have questions about quilting, if you have any questions about this project too, I also do just want to mention that we added a few more of the kits for this pattern. Now the kit includes just the background fabric and the background fabric here. So background of the front and background of the back of the pillow, and then the fabric kits are what you can purchase separately. But anyway, we've got a few more of those kits available. So let's go to questions, and let me just go down the list as I see it, and we're going to see if we have any questions that we can answer. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for the kind comments about my grandma. We have people joining us today from Georgia and Culver City, California, from Portugal, Anna from Portugal, and I saw we have somebody from North Wales.
You aren't streaming to Collage Quilter for some reason.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll fix that. Thank you so much. All right, let's see if I have any questions that I can answer. Okay, so we from South Carolina. Um, let's see, what have we got? Now we have, I've got to remove
Okay,
you.
so I'm on my cell phone. Does that
That's
sound better?
better. Yes, that's much better.
Okay, so I'm like, I can figure this out.
Okay, so Dara, let's just have you do a quick, I would like to know how you got into, how you kind of made the leap from quilting to weight loss.
Yeah. So I'll just back up to the book. So just with the Walk, Jog, Run is the Bible. Like it will help you so much. It will build your foundation. So I give you the 10 basic designs. And then within each design, I give you what happens is you start to really like internalize and really learn those. It takes you out of being that good student. And then in that as well, I have little work. So 2 minutes, draw this, 3 minutes, do this. Like, and so I because when you can action and you don't do anything. So that book is just so happy. It's like you're taking a class with me and you're doing this. And so it doesn't feel hard and challenging. So I love that book. And then the doodle, let you know, I did it over 31 days. And so in CNT Publishing, the Doodle School one. So when CNT Publishing started the book. So the nice thing about that book is companion to the YouTube, which is free. You can all go there and you can all take part of that design. I give you the prompt. I give you the application. I give you coaching on each one. And I do that over 31 days. It's amazing.
Sweet.
Get into my brain and you see what's like really going on, because it is hard. How do they do that? So that's what I want to say. And then with the other book, the companion, I give you the prompt like you were sharing, like the water one. And so you have 6 little squares, and then you get rectangles, 2 rectangles, and then you get 2 open pages. Confidence, like you can do this. And so I really do walk you through to, so, and the reason it's the size it is so you can just throw it in your purse. You can bring it along with it. So there we go. That's like the kind of a summary of those books. When I quilted professionally for years, and either quilts from across Canada, and I was teaching quilting, and I was really, and one of the reasons that I was able to get like the teaching jobs and doing because I had tools in my brain, because I got myself a life coach, and our feelings all come from our thoughts. And so, and 95%. So if you're not sure of like what you're thinking, and you kind of start living on, and you don't realize like why you're gaining all this weight, or why you're not getting teaching jobs, or why you're not finishing projects, or you have difficult relationships. And the problem is then, and you don't have a process to like organize your thoughts, feels very scary, and you don't feel like you're in control. So when I got a leg, I started losing weight. It was just a byproduct of being organized. And so I've lost 50 pounds without counting calories or exercising. And so as quilting and people watching me on YouTube, and they saw that I was shrinking, you need to help me with that. Like I really want to know what you're doing. And so it kind of came to be that I started sharing the things that I was doing to lose this weight. I had such a demand for it that I decided to really serve my ladies how to think about are thinking and how to change your relationship with yourself and food difference for so many people.
Well, Dara, that sounds fantastic. I love to hear about that. Because it's super important, like you said, to your thinking. We need to have positive thinking. We need to have balance in our lives. I just keep going back to this idea that we want to increase our overall capacity for good and to be creative. We want to have the best relationships that we can, and everything that we do is interrelated, right? So I think this is definitely our physical health is definitely related to our mental health, and our mental health will impact everything else that we do. So it sounds like you've got kind of the whole package and your quilter on top of it. It's the best.
Right. So it's like, I talk to women about it's mental and physical. I help you with your mental and physical health because, like you said, how we show up in one area, all areas. And so I give the analogy, if you have a messy and you don't deal with it by turning the lights off, you think, okay, but you still have to walk in your house. So you're tripping and falling. And so I have the lights on to start organizing what's going on. Like, why is it so messy? It doesn't feel good to be there. And I help you organize all of that with those tools for your.
Well, this sounds fantastic. So I am so excited that we were able to connect. I really apologize for the difficulty with connections. Technology, as we've said, can be amazing, but it can be so frustrating sometimes. So I just want to, again, make sure that if anybody is interested in your program, to go to your website. We've put the link right in the chat here. And we've got these books available. We only have a few books. If they sell out, Dara, I'll contact you and we'll add some more. But I want to just, it's probably about time to I'm gonna ask one more question. So I see one more question that I want to make sure we get to. It says, Dara, when we purchase the book, can we use the designs for our original art quilts that we entered in quilt shows, ranging from local guild to maybe bigger shows?
Totally.
And I'm assuming that's yes, absolutely.
I'm just teaching you the basics, very own slant to it for sure.
Yeah. So she's teaching you the skill set, and you apply that skill set to your own quilts, and absolutely take everything that she is offering you and put it on your own quilts, and then go put them in shows and love them. So, okay, let's see. I have one more question I need to answer here. I have Steam a Seam 2, not light. What are your thoughts if I use it versus light? Now this is for me. Do you highly suggest not using it? So, folks, here's the thing. The Warm Company produces a couple different versions of Steam a Seam. If you get Steam a Seam or Steam a Seam 2, and it's not what I use light Steam a Seam 2, don't worry about it. Just use it. If you've got it, use it. It will be similar enough that you don't need to go out and buy more of the product. Use what you have, and then you can use, then when you're ready to restock, buy the light Steam a Seam 2. The difference with those products is the light Steam a Seam 2 that I recommend is just a little bit lighter weight. It's just going to result in a slightly less stiff collage. So that's my answer to that question. Let me just double check. I think that's all the questions that we have. And I like to just kind of keep this little show short. So I want to thank you all for joining us. And Dara, especially, thank you so much for being with us. And I hope I get to see you at another show, maybe in Houston. Are you going to be at Houston this year?
I'll be at Houston for the festival.
Okay, great. Do you have a booth or are you teaching?
I'm going to do a booth for this one.
Okay, me too. I have a booth at festivals. So if you are going to the International Quilt Festival in Houston, let's see, it's November 3rd through the 6th. Please come by. my booth and Dara's booth and say hello. Okay, and we'll connect with each other
Yeah.
there too.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely day. Talk to you soon. See you
Bye.
next week, 11 o'clock Monday Mountain Time, and I will be working in my studio, so I'll see you then. Bye.